Today, on Honor a Veteran, we proudly present a very special Rhinelander veteran, Mr. Bawb Turk. Bawb Turk of Rhinelander was born on June 10, 1942, in Houghton, Michigan, and raised in Bessemer, Michigan, where he attended school and worked a few part-time jobs at a gas station, hauling mail to the airport, and then for the U.S. Forest Service. At age 20, Bawb decided it was time for a change.
I just decided I had to change my life a little bit. So I joined the service, and that was in 1964.
Bawb served in the 4th Battalion, 18th U.S. Infantry Berlin Brigade, Germany, during the Cold War, when the 96-mile-long iconic Berlin Wall separated East and West Berlin.
I started out working in the motor pool as a mechanic, and then was transferred from there into ordnance parts, and I did all my training there. It was quite the place to be stationed.
He said it was a spit and polish outfit because the U.S. Army represented the United States.
My barracks was right next to the wall. I could see it from my room.
Wow.
And at night, you could hear them firing, shooting at people that were trying to come across, and of course they didn't make it. I think a few might have, but the majority didn't make it. So.
Bawb was 24 years old at the time. He said he would often walk to the wall to speak with the soldiers up in the towers and trade gifts.
They wanted American cigarettes, real bad. I got a Russian pile cap, which is very expensive for a couple packs of cigarettes.
Bawb's main duty was getting all the parts for mechanics. Every other day he was sent to Frankfurt, Germany to exchange broken parts for replacements. He recalls his wage when he joined the military was $68 a month. Bawb got out in 1967, and by this time, his wages had grown to $210 a month. After Germany, he came back home to Michigan and took a job at the White Mine copper mine, but after several cave-ins, decided it wasn't the career for him. Bawb found an ad in the paper searching for a parts man at Ferris Motors in Rhinelander, and was offered the job on the spot. But a year and a half later, the business shut down, and he was forced to be on the search again.
Found out that they were going to be hiring at Oneida County Forestry. So I applied for that job, and luckily I got it. And I spent 30 years with Oneida County Forestry.
But Bawb's service didn't stop there. In 1971, Bawb decided to join the National Guard, where he dedicated another 30 years of service while maintaining his position with the Forestry Service.
I was a squad leader, assistant squad leader, and I worked in the motor pool. I was a motor sergeant, and I went into training NCO for a while until they needed a cook.
Bawb's time in the National Guard was spent all over, from home base to Fort McCoy, Camp Ripley, Germany in 1986 and again in 1998, and a tour to Panama in 1992 and 1995. Bawb retired from the National Guard on December 5, 1998. He said the friendships he built and the others that he got to help shape during their time in the service meant everything to him.
While I'm retired from the service now, I'm still active in organizations in Rhinelander, which is the American Legion, the AMVETS, Disabled American Veterans, the NCO Club, the VFW, and the Northwoods Honor Guard.
Bawb has been awarded and honored with several medals, ribbons, and badges throughout his time in service. So many that he said there's no way he could explain them all. A good friend, Master Sergeant Ron Odrasic, gifted Bawb a shadow box to honor all of Bawb's accomplishments. October 8, 2017, Bawb got to experience the never-forgotten honor flight, and on November 6, 2023, he was honored with the Quilt of Valor.
Before I joined the military, I did a lot of things I shouldn't be doing.
So it got you squared up?
Like partying, you know, a lot of that, and I just decided it was enough, that I had to straighten my life out, and I thought the military could do it, and it did it. It changed my life completely.
Bawb said he wouldn't trade the memories he made or the relationships he built for the world. He proudly looks back at all of his accomplishments as a life well lived as a proud United States veteran.